going on?
Thank you so much.
Pay like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my guy, as always, Mojo Muhtadi. Like it says right there, Mojo. Like we said earlier this week, we started with 68 teams, Mojo. Now we are finally down to 4. All 4 1 seeds, only for the second time in the history of the tournament. But here we are, number 1 Florida, number 1 Auburn, number 1 Houston, and number 1 Duke, Mojo. All will play on Saturday for a date, for a trip to that championship game, and it will be a 1 seed. That much we can say, Mojo. Now, this is even for teams as storied and as talented as these 4 programs. This is a pressure-packed moment, Mojo. These are the biggest games that you can play in as a college basketball player. And these guys get nervous. They're very good basketball players, but they're also human beings, Mojo. So what's the advice to dealing with the kind of pressure that these players are now dealing with? Mojo, we ran into somebody who knows a little bit about playing in March Madness and in the championship game. That guy right there, he went on to be an NBA superstar. He is a Hall of Famer. But before all that, he was one of the best players, he was probably the best player in all of college basketball, Mojo. Of course, on that vaunted, that scary Michigan team back in 1993. The Fab Five, of course, played for a title. Of course, you may remember there was that infamous timeout when Michigan didn't have any left. There he was, Chris Webber, calling for timeout, resulted in a technical foul. UNC wins the game. They are the champions. Michigan is not. And despite everything that Chris has accomplished, that still follows him around to this day. Sorry I'm talking so much here. Bottom line, Mojo, we ran into Chris recently. We asked him for advice to the players. He is not too proud to take a little shot at himself, a little self-deprecating humor from the great Chris Webber. Watch this.
What's your advice to these young men about to have the biggest games of their life?
Enjoy it. Let it all hang out. You know, sports is the most fair platform. It's not fair to any of us. You know what I mean? And so to enjoy it, I wouldn't trade one moment I had at the Final Four. I wouldn't trade any of the stats. I wouldn't trade the timeout.
The timeout even? You wouldn't trade it?
I was the most dominant player. It was one mistake. I was the number 1 pick, 1 month later. You know what I mean? So I think we need to start telling people, you can have big mistakes and still come out the man, especially when you give it your all. When you don't give it your all and you play it safe, and we can see that in games as scouts, as presidents of teams and things like that. It's worse than a mistake when you were trying it.
Your story is your story, and you became who you became. So I wonder, 4 seconds left, and whoever, this Cuban flag, be it, Houston, they got 4 seconds left, it's a tie game or whatever. What advice do you have in that moment for these guys? Because that's the
shoot the ball and don't listen to anybody screaming. Shoot the ball.
I love it.
Shoot your shot, Babcock. That is the advice. You love the self-deprecating humor, and I think it's okay to do that. Who cares if you lose the national title game, even if you are on the Fab Five, when you go on to be the first overall pick and NBA Rookie of the Year and 5-time All-Star and so on and so on and so on, 15, 16 years in the league. I don't really necessarily care what happened to college, especially, too, here's a guy that just knows how to make a splash from the start. He was also freshman of the year in college as well. So this is a guy that's done it all, and you love to hear that advice. I mean, that is advice that every one of these players needs to hear. Go out and enjoy it. If you enjoy it, if you're having fun, you're playing loose, you're playing your best game. If you're going out there and you're playing timid and you're second-guessing yourself, you're going to make some shots, you're going to make some turnovers, you're going to make some mistakes, bottom line, and you're just not going to be giving the fans the best game that they can watch and your team the best effort. So, I don't know, when you hear it from a player like Chris Webber that's literally done all of the things that you're hoping to accomplish, you do listen to it a little bit more.
No Tyler Hero in here, so they can switch everything, which they did.
Morant goes on Ware, step back, and it goes! John Morant
Putback jumper over a 7-footer. Got it off in time. And the Memphis Grizzlies win at 110-108.
Mojo, there was Ja Morant as the clock hit 0-0-0-0, hitting the fade away game winner. Now, you have to do something pretty crazy, Mojo, to hit a game winner and that not be the story of the game. But that's where we are here with Ja Morant. Now, Mojo, on yesterday's show, we talked about Ja Morant. Now, Ja, you may remember, when he was celebrating earlier in the week, remember he and Buddy Hield were going back and forth with these gestures here. He made a gun gesture using his hands. Now, a lot of people thought with Ja's history with guns, remember 2023, within a couple of months of one another, he had 2 incidents involving guns. He was in a strip club with a gun, and then he was on Instagram Live, also with a gun. He was suspended twice for those incidents, and he said, hey, look, I'll be better. So when he does the gun gesture earlier in the week with his hands, a lot of people surprised that the NBA did not take any action. No fine, no suspension. All they said, Mojo, was, Ja, please stop doing that. Well, let's fast forward about 24 hours later. Ja Morant was back on the court, Mojo, and what do you know? He did the gun gesture with his hand. Now, not so lucky this time, Mojo. The NBA has fined him, and they wasted no time. This happened last night. So Thursday night, the game goes down. Friday morning, early, NBA, $75,000 fine. Clearly, they're not messing around anymore, Mojo, and the NBA not happy, obviously, with Ja Morant.
Yeah, I think Ja was going to do this until he couldn't do it anymore, right? I don't know. That just kind of became apparent to me. This is my move. It's my gimmick. I'm going to try to get this one over as much as possible until they pull this one away from me. $75,000. That's a lot of money. To Ja Morant, maybe not so much. This is the guy that makes a lot of money. It might have been worth it for him in this moment. I got to think, Babcock, too. If you are Ja and you got away with the last one, and this is something you're trying to do for whatever reason, you had to have expected that he was going to try this again, right? Like, I don't know if anyone's surprised by this.
Yeah, Mojo, it's a good question. Now, it'll be a really interesting thing to look at and watch when they take the court and they play again, the Grizzlies do Saturday against the Pistons. We will see, does he do this again or does he stop? If he does do it again, does the NBA then either fine him more money, which they will, do they also suspend him is the question. I will say this, and granted this was before the fine came down, but last night Ja Morant, after the game, is obviously asked about doing the gun gesture with his hands. He didn't seem too remorseful. Here's what he said, Mojo. I was pretty much a villain for 2 years now. Every little thing. If somebody can say something negative about me, it's going to be out there. So yeah, I don't care no more. $75,000 fine. The guy makes nearly $40 million a year. He makes more than $75,000 in a single quarter. So there you go, Mojo. Lots of money to most people, like you said. Not a lot of money to Ja Morant. Coming up, what should we expect when UFC star Michael Chandler shares the octagon with rising star Paddy Pimblett a week from Saturday? Find out when Iron Mike joins the show next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike Babcock here. UFC 314 just a week and a day away, and one of the most exciting fighters in the entire world. Returning to the octagon, of course, he is our guy, our buddy, the great Michael Chandler. Mike, how are you, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I tell you what, it's always good whenever camp is almost over and you're like, man, about ready to just compete. I'm excited.
Right, you just got the fun. Well, I guess aside from the weight cut, the fun part is kind of now it's all that's in front of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, these last couple of weeks, all you're thinking about is the weight cut. You're like,
really?
Like 90% weight cut, 10% fight. Unfortunately, just you're reminded every day. But
right,
and I'm excited. I've done this so many times, so I'm excited to go do it.
This is a great fight, Mike. I mean, as people know about you, if there's one thing they do know, Mike, it's that your fights are always great. It's always entertaining. There's never a bad fight. You're fighting a guy who is also really famous, Paddy Pimblett. He's got a lot of people that love him, a lot of people that love to hate him, but nonetheless, he's a popular dude. Talk to me just about the magnitude of this fight from a fan's perspective, Mike. Just they're so excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, the UFC loves putting on big fights that make sense, fights that get people intrigued, right? Paddy Pimblett's got a brand, and his brand is you either love him or you hate him, right? But either way, he's running his race and he is unapologetically himself. And I'm kind of the same way. Obviously I think my fighting style is a little bit more exciting. He's got a little bit more of a brand outside of the octagon. But man, either way, both worlds collide on April 12th in Miami, co-main event, 5 rounds, man. It's going to be fireworks. I plan on going out there, stealing the show at UFC 314, getting my hand raised, calling some people out. But I'm excited about it, man.
You said, I've got some people I want to call out. I don't want to steal your thunder here. Is Conor McGregor still on your mind? And is he potentially one of those people that you will name after you win Saturday?
I mean, I think Conor knows I want to fight him. The world knows that he wants to fight me. If he comes back, his road back to the UFC goes through me. So I don't think I need to call him out. There's some other fights that are really exciting. Obviously a win over Paddy doesn't exactly put me in the title contention, but Dustin Poirier got a title shot after beating number 11. Islam beat Bobby Green and got a title shot. So I'm not saying I'll get the next title shot, but I do think Chandler versus Islam sure does sound appetizing. If Islam goes up, which he's talking about doing it, man, Chandler versus Gaethje again, Chandler versus Oliveira. Well, you can't do Chandler versus Oliveira. I don't deserve to fight him. But Chandler versus Max Holloway, Chandler versus Topuria. These are big fights.
Big good fights.
I'll tell you what, man, it's how beautiful is it? The UFC lightweight division is it's the murderer's row of dudes that just go out there and they don't just compete. They're going out there to brave bodily harm. You're right. It's like, that's what we do.
You're not kidding.
So, we'll see, man. I think I will fight Conor if he comes back, but I'm not holding my breath, nor should you, nor should anybody make any kind of bets that Conor is coming back. But I think he comes back eventually, but we'll see if I'm still around.
Last thing before I let you go, and thank you so much, Michael. You're like, I don't know, maybe like 65-ish or so miles away from Mar-a-Lago in Miami on Saturday at UFC 314. Do we think there's a chance that the president, I know he's busy, do we think there's a chance the president could make a little trip down to a beast ride down or Marine One ride down to the fight?
Man, there's always a chance, man. Anytime the UFC is putting on a big pay-per-view, Donald Trump wants to be there if he can. Yeah. Obviously, this one does make a lot of sense because it's South Florida. That would be amazing. He was at my last fight at Madison Square Garden. He saw the slams at MSG, heard round the world. He gave me a handshake and said, "You're one bad SOB."
Wow.
After the fight, so I mean, hopefully we will see. Hopefully him and a lot of his team is there because they are all doing a lot of great things right now, making some huge changes for this beautiful country of ours in record time. And I'll be draped in the stars and bars and would love to compete in front of him again. We shall see.
Yeah, well, for all the people who are not lucky enough to actually be in the building next Saturday, we will obviously all be watching on television. It's a great card, like up and down. A lot of people saying, hey, this, co-main event, but this is the people's main event. Michael, thank you so much for your time as always, man. It was great to catch up, and we'll all be watching.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you after the win. See you, Mike.
Just 2 years after working as an Uber driver, JC Escarra collects his first big league hit. This literally is a story that movies are made of. So, who would the Yankees catcher want to play him on the big screen one day? JC Escarra tells us when TMZ Sports rolls on right after this.
On the TMZ Celebrity Tour, we've seen huge stars like Kevin Hart, Ben Affleck, The Rock, and Jamie Foxx. Buses depart daily from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, so head to TMZTour.com and book your tickets for the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
There it is. The long wait is over. He has a major league hit. And he's going for extra bases. It's a double. They'll get him that ball. Oh, is he feeling it?
Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, that was an awesome moment last night during the Yankee game. We talked about this guy a few days ago, Mojo. JC Escarra is the Yankees' backup catcher. This guy has got a tremendous story, Mojo. You look back 2-3 years, he wasn't only not in Major League Baseball, He was playing independent baseball, Mojo, small league, a team nobody knows about, nobody cares about, no shade at them. He was, in order to make ends meet, Mojo, working other jobs away from the diamond. He was an Uber driver, and he was also a substitute teacher, Mojo. So the guy was doing everything he possibly could as he was in his mid-20s to make ends meet, keeping the dream alive. There he is last night with his first big league hit, and it wasn't a cheap one either. It ripped a double down the right field line there. He deserved that one. That was a real hit. And this is a story that you would see in a movie theater, right? I mean, this is this kind of thing that you say, hey, that should be a movie. And maybe this will one day. As a matter of fact, Mojo, when we were speaking with JC a few days ago, we asked him, we said, hey, this thing is like a movie script. If it is a movie one day, who do you want to play you?
JC, who plays you in the movie one day?
Man, I got a lot of good actors that I watch nonstop. Let me see, at the top of my head, Brad Pitt, Jake Gyllenhaal. Those are some of my favorite actors. So hopefully one day, my life is a movie and I get to see it on the big screen.
I'm going to go ahead and throw Michael J. Babcock's name into the ring. I think you can pull it off. You'd actually be making him look better looking with the hair and the whole vibe.
Stop,
I mean,
Mojo.
that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, this is the NFL's version of Kurt Warner, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe Vince Papale from the movie Invincible, except maybe Babcock potentially better because Kurt Warner was bagging groceries. Vince Papale was serving drinks at a bar. This guy was helping kids as a substitute teacher, driving people around in need as an Uber driver. So, I mean, a little bit more, not to take away from those two fine gentlemen, but a little bit more of a service to humanity with these job choices. Yeah, I'm not seeing either of those.
Yeah, Mojo, the one thing with Brad, too, and Jake Gyllenhaal's 44 right now, Brad Pitt is 61 years old. I think he just picked the most handsome actor he could think of, I think, Mojo. I think
it's a good thing this guy isn't a casting director because I don't think he would last in that job very long. But either way, I mean, this is a hell of a movie, especially if he continues to do big things, on the field. This could turn into something. It's a story that everybody can get behind, that the average, American can relate to, that rags to riches kind of a situation. Those movies always do really well. So do a little bit more, hit a few. You're on the right team to go ahead and win a World Series. Who knows? This movie might come out soon.
Coming up next on TMZ Sports, Mojo returns to the wrestling ring, and you will not believe what happened. And it happened on video. That's next.
There is a hearing set for mid-April to decide whether to re-sentence the Menendez brothers.
A TMZ exclusive.
You have a call from
Lyle Menendez.
The interview 35 years in the making.
My brother and I are cautiously hopeful who I've evolved into, who I've seen Lyle evolve into.
They're completely different men.
Have they served their time?
Would they really pose a danger to society?
Do you want to have them over for a dinner party at your house, Harvey?
TMZ presents The Menendez Brothers, The Prison Interview, Monday at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, it's time for our TMZ Sports video of the week, starring a guy that I know, my good friend Mojo Muhtadi. Mojo, you got to explain. You got to explain what's going on here, Mojo. This looks scary.
No, Babcock, this was this morning, actually. I finally get back into a wrestling ring. It's been a long time, almost a year, and all I can say, Babcock, is I guess I still got it because I kind of broke the ring. I was just running the rope, doing some conditioning, started to pick up speed and snapped the rope off of the turnbuckle. Just kind of crazy. Broke the piece right in half. Shout out to my friends at House of Champions. Sorry for breaking your ring. I know that invoice is coming, but I love you guys anyways. But Babcock, here's the thing, buddy. I'm not the only TMZ host that did something crazy in the sports world recently, because you, my friend, had yourself a different incident in a different sport.
Well, mine is Wow, look at that. Speaking of Brad Pitt, I look like Brad Pitt in that F1 movie. Yeah, Mojo, mine not as impressive as yours because I just sat there and sort of was literally along for the ride. That was crazy with you in the wrestling ring. I want to give a shout out to IndyCar here, Mojo. There is a big time race going down next Sunday, the 14th, April 14th, on Fox. It is the Acura Grand Prix. It is the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, Mojo. These Indy cars are absolutely crazy. Earlier in the week, I had a chance to ride in a special two-seater Indy car, Mojo. There I am in the back seat there. That is me. I'm feeling a little queasy right about now. These cars are absolutely amazing, Mojo. They are incredible. I've never felt anything like it before. The top speed, it's amazing. It's super fast, but it's not even that. It's the cornering and the braking. It just does not feel physics-wise like you should be able to make these turns going as fast as you are. But that's how incredible these race cars are, these Indy race cars, and these drivers. So that is a can't-miss race. Again, that's going down next Sunday on Fox, the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, Mojo. We are out of time. We will have a championship game set on Monday, Mojo. We know which of these two 1 seeds will advance, will play for the national title, Mojo. We'll have a bunch to talk about on Monday. And we'll see if John Morant does any gun gestures. A lot to talk about on Monday. Have a good weekend. It'll be a great show.
Actually, Babcock, I'm not sure about that because word on the street is you're leaving us to be a race car driver. But I don't know. We'll figure out a replacement for you. We'll miss you. We love you, buddy. But we'll see you on Monday where it'll be the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.